So Tim has just texted, he's on his way. We're going to finish some of the work that we started with him last time round. We've got a couple of cupboards to install that he's built. We're going to finish the box work for the dash and the gauge shroud and some of the fascias and so on, as well as carpet the wheelhouse out. Tim has just arrived with, there he is, in the back he's got our new YouTube box of wonder and also a storage cupboard for our wheelhouse. Looks like shelving, cupboards, etc, drawers. This one over here is a smaller one, so this actually goes up in the wheelhouse, this little wee one here. Cool, so that's the top of it there. Awesome, let's go and get these things inside.
A momentous occasion.
It is. Pretty awesome.
It really is. Out of the way, Mish. Get out of the way. I know you know what you're doing. Go, go. Good boy. I'll stand bold. Wow. Wow, that is beautiful.
They're awesome.
Wow. Wow, it's beautiful, huh?
Oh. Wait till you see it all.
I just realised we've this
What's that?
I just realised the
You have to move it?
the bench that the seats sit on overhangs by 50 odd mil or 60 mil, whatever that is. We have to chop the bench slightly to fit it in properly. Yeah, see it overhangs there, we're just pushing it out there.
Right. Oh well.
Just chop it off.
Yeah, we chop that back corner, the whole thing will fit in properly. We're going to have to modify these floorboards as well because we need to put a cup down here to pull the board up because at the moment it's underneath this. How's that on the wall on your side?
Yeah, but it's we need to sort of shim it and yeah, it's not quite square
Right.
below, but yeah. So
can we trim the wood or do we shim it up?
Oh, we shim it up.
Alright.
Yeah, there's no. I don't think there's any.
I love that it makes such a natural barrier to the wheelhouse. You know, like if you're inside
It's
there.
very, it is a good barrier in terms of how do I get out of here.
Oh, you've got to. It's not quite what I meant.
I've literally boxed myself in.
Go that way with it. Just push
I can't
it in.
move
Oh,
anyway.
won't go in? Okay.
Oh, yes, you can.
That's it, that's my movement.
Well, should we pull this out a little bit and you can just...
Yeah,
I think that's good.
So we're going to chuck, up here we're going to chuck a second one of these handles. We've got a stainless handle on this side. We're going to basically do the same thing on this side here. So as you walk up the stairs you've got one on either side. And then down here we're going to put racks for our camera tripods.
The drawers.
Yep.
Because the the lower part of the cabinet can flex either way. So when you put the shims in, when the final shims
we have to make sure it's
go
straight.
in, you just make sure it's straight and then it'll be beautiful.
Yeah, alright, cool.
But it's doing a good job at the moment.
Yeah, nice, nice. So these are our two plywood boxes that we're going to fit together basically. What we need to do is get this surface completely true and level between the two because there's a bench that goes over top of the two. So we're just trying to figure out the smaller one sits down here on the wheelhouse floor and then the bigger one goes all the way down there to the bottom, right down the bottom of the hallway there. So we're just trying to figure out how to shim it all up and clamp it and so on.
So this ply is 15 mil.
Yeah.
And we need to make set this back 15 mil plus a little bit, and the little bit is probably about the depth of that hinge, which is 3 millimeters. So we really want to set it back 18 millimeters, just so that the door will sit
Right.
flush with there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I know you wouldn't sleep at night
No.
thinking that the door
No.
stood proud of that surface, so we need to push it back to make it 18 millimetres, and I think I, now from memory, actually allowed for 20 millimetres,
Okay.
but I think 18 millimetres would look good.
Right, so while Tim goes and builds the throttle mount, Jess is doing up a before and after video, which I can't wait to see. Actually, it's gonna be pretty cool. I'm gonna go and start painting these big cupboards that we made. So Tim is basically helping us sort out the floorboards in the wheelhouse. So in order to put our boxes, these big things over here that are waiting to dry, in order to put them into the wheelhouse, the floorboards have to be modified because the floorboards are quite big, the boxes go over top, we won't be able to open them if we leave them as is, so we're making smaller floorboards so that we can get in underneath the boxes. You can see the floorboards are significantly smaller than they used to be. They used to go across that whole section, and he's basically sliced them down this sort of line that you can see all the way down here. That aside, you can sort of see that line all the way down, lines up. What the plan is on this side here, we're going to put a piece of wood that basically hangs down sort of 75mm to stiffen this edge up quite a lot. It'll also overlap so that the next floorboard will be able to sit on top of that. So we're hoping that that's going to make the floor a lot stiffer. But the reason we're actually doing this in the first place was because we're putting the new cabinet actually sits on top of these boards. So we have to make smaller floorboards or else we physically can't get the floorboards out when the cabinets are in. So this is all so that we can bolt in our YouTube box of wonder that goes up and down in this area here. and then the storage cupboard for the wheelhouse that sort of sits just back in this area.
Then you need to go down and get some water, darling.
Oh yeah, I'll do it now. Oh. Yeah, do it now.
Morning! Good. Yes, I know, baby. I know there's nobody down here. Wow, look at that tail go. Dogs and everything. Morning! Good. Yes, I know, baby. I know there's little puppies out there. I'm just putting the nug on. Do you feel like another cup of tea?
A cup of tea would be good.
What are you doing?
Oh, just the little end of the... No, that was the sort of the nose end of where you come up the stairs, and it was never really stuck on properly.
Oh. So it's getting the treatment now.
Doing a bit of repair.
It's a much more manageable size piece. It's good.
Yeah, yeah, it'll work out.
So Tim is working on these panels here.
So it sits on this face here, so we're going to be basically gluing the 4mm ply to this steel surface here. The throttle control sits just to the right of the steering wheel, and then we're also going to make a similar sort of box that goes around all of that enclosure. I apologise for the wind, it's really blowing at the moment. So we've got that piece of 4mm hardwood in the back of the ute there. That is going to be chopped up. So we need to figure out where we're going to put these throttle controls. So throttle and gearbox, we're thinking of sticking them down beside the wheel here. They're going to be mounted on a slight angle, but basically sticking out from the wall. Crikey. But they don't stick out past the wheel, so they're not necessarily going to get in the way of anything. It's the only place we can sort of decide to put them, because we can't go down through this bench and down into the room below, because there's air conditioners and stuff like that below it. So by mounting on the side here, it kind of solves all of those problems. So Tim's gone through and made the cutouts and everything for the, this is the 4mm ply that goes on just below the steering wheel. So that cutout's basically where the steering wheel box actually sits. And then just to the side over here, actually you can see the marks in the wood there. Just to the side there you can see you've got the pencil marks where the throttle control goes.
That'll be pretty close, won't it?
Yep.
I think that should be sort of perfect. And then I've just got to sand it back to that.
Back to your cut.
Quite smart, I think.
I think we're supposed to design it that way.
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
Cool. Here. There you go.
I think it's awesome.
Yeah. We're going to route the edge to sort of curve it around a bit.
So we've basically, Tim's gone through and created this box here which goes over our gear shifter and throttle, and we're creating a similar sort of looking thing that goes, this is the front face, this the steering wheel actually sits just in front of this, so we'll create a hole in the circle for this steering shaft to go through, and then these are the sides. That's sort of what it looks like. Actually goes that way around. That's what it looks like in the profile. So yeah, that across the sides, that one down there across the bottom, and then that face there across the front. That's kind of what you look at when you're looking at it. Yeah, nice.
So they look similar. They
Pretty close in.
Actually, ideally, have you got you've got a random orbital center? Yeah. That'd be better to
clean
them
it up.
down flat rather than that.
Yeah.
That thing's a bit aggressive with the sound it's got in it at the moment. And I'll just
Because I'll have to like fear it to fill that sort of stuff up as well. So
I'll round off the corners with the router and flatten it a bit, and you can. Oh, in fact, no, I'll round the corners and I'll leave the final dressing.
Doors and cupboards. So these are drawers. These have been sealed. We're just waiting to be fully painted with top coat. Same with the cupboard the door on the cupboard that Tim made.
I think I've got the puppy going home to do what I want to do.
Yes. Depending on which book you read, he's just entering his teenage years now.
keen. You're not really, you know.
Alright, 5 to 1. That's our one.
Yeah, there'll be any sound that's worth anything.
Yeah.
I win.
We're trying a new technique. We've been using International Everdure as our wood primer, or sorry, wood sealer. But it's close to $100 a litre. It's unbelievably expensive. It's great, but okay, it's okay, but it's really disproportionately expensive for how great it is.
And we've had the hard word from someone we really trust, who's a boat builder here.
So what we're going to do is just normal epoxy resin. This is a 5 to 1 mix, but it's epoxy resin and then epoxy thinners. And he said if you basically mix up your resin and then do a 30% thinner mixture, mix the resin up, let it sit for 5 minutes, and then do a 30% thin down with the epoxy thinners, you end up with essentially the same viscosity as Everdure. The only difference is you don't have the bio side that Everdure has. However, he said that he's seen wood that's been Everdured and just epoxy resin, and he said there's almost no difference in terms of mold growth and stuff like that. So yeah, we saved ourselves about 50% by trying this, so if it works, this is awesome.
You want gloves?
No, I'll be pouring it pretty carefully, so no, I'll be right. Alright, so I'm just going to do this small amount to start with.
So you're using that as a sealer on all the wood, including the big flat piece?
Yeah. Slightly above. She'll be right.
My attention keeps drifting up to the sky because there are birds flying around. Supposed to be looking at you. Don't go too close, baby. Stay here. Mish, give me down. Come away from this thing. Come here. Come here.
Right. Oh, my mixing stick's downstairs.
Mish is in one of his really good moods where he loves to be a part of everything. It's really nice. Got to sit right where we're working.
Has to sit on top of the wood or the rug or whatever it is.
Or the camera person. Or
Yeah.
I think it's when he's in an extra cuddly mood, just wants to be close. Very cute.
Right. Give that a sec.
Is that all the stirring it needs?
Pretty much.
Just a wish, 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 and it's done.
It just when you pour it in, it kind of goes milky a little bit, and I don't know what you need to do, but I just whizzed it up until it was all clear.
Right. So this is what we're doing this morning.
This is the face that goes on the steering wheel sits there, the throttle sits there. This is the face that's the vertical piece below the steering wheel.
And this is going to be black paint, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't look like much, does it?
No.
Given the size of the board and the stuff you're
I'll make
doing.
more up as I need it. It does go a long way though, it's so runny, it goes, if it's anything like Everdure, it goes miles.
Oh yeah, nice. There's your gobby way.
I got one clubfootin, no shoes on, but I still gotta move me all these stones, and I'm swagging and swaying, and I'm rapidly won't, and I still get to find me a sweet, sweet home. I got it someday, before the break of dawn. The sun comes up, and still I gotta roll. Pack up my bags and go. Pack up and go.
I ain't got no place to lay my head. I ain't got no place to lay my bones. I ain't got no place to lay my head. I ain't got no place to call my home. I ain't got no place
I
to
still
lay my
got
head.
10 toes, and it's a plain to see that I'm choked up in the glory and the story swallowed me from the east to the west, highway to the left. It's not forget I still got my friends. Yes, I got them. They see me through the end. They know and I gotta go. Pack on my bags and go. I gotta go. I gotta It's all part for the course. It's all the part for the course. So
I ain't got no place to lay my head.
I ain't got no place to lay my bones. I ain't got no place to lay my head. I ain't got no place to call my home. I ain't got no place to lay my head. I ain't got no place to lay my bones. I ain't got no place to lay my head. I ain't got no place to call my home. I ain't got no place to lay my head.
This week there's been firestorms in central Queensland which left us with eerie sunsets. And Dane was in Sydney on work for 2 days in stark contrast before heading back to finish work on the dash. Okay, you can probably see better than me.
Yeah. You just watch that wall on the far side, I'll watch this one.
It's tight, isn't it?
Yeah. You clear my side. Slightly. Yeah, and now I've got to screw it to the box at the back. So there we have it, she's in. The wall itself is relatively straight except for the last half metre down here. So this board is basically holding it pretty level all the way along, and then the floorboards are jammed up down the bottom there holding the bottom in. It's pressed up pretty nice all the way along, I'm happy with that, and then right at the end it does this sort of curve away from that wooden board. So I basically just clamped it in.
So can you just sort of pull it so that it straightens? Yeah. There's like a sort of a bow in it. Probably because that's pushing it out, I'm guessing.
Yeah, that's better. Well, I think.
So we got heaps done this weekend. We got our Wheelhouse cupboard in, our YouTube box of wonder. We got the floor carpeted. We got this front fascia panel on. Took a lot of work to get that smooth, but that's all done. We got our mounting box for our throttle control and everything taken care of. Really pleased with how that all worked out. We got our gauge shroud done, and where all the gauges are going to sit. So these are going to be another episode on our red arc gauges that are going in here, as well as a potential space for a screen up here if we need it. So this is how the dash is going to be. It'll stay this way. We've still got a little bit more work to do obviously in the Wheelhouse, but that's okay. For dump and run, this is more than enough to get us wherever we need to go, and we'll press on with some other areas of the boat.
Heard you want to leave this place where we grew up. This old town, just put it all behind. Remember you and I would always find somewhere